Hi everyone. Before I get into today's episode, which is I guess I'm feeling chatty this week. I have not felt chatty for a long time, so here I am again. Um, I have to tell on myself. So think I might have found a way out of this addiction to the giant bars of Hershey's cookies and cream, which by the way actually have the word giant on the front. So I was just at Walgreens picking up Alicia's medication, and I grabbed two giant bars on my way to the pharmacy so I could get those on the way out. And so like here's how bad my addiction's getting. Like I am really not trying to get diabetes here. I am not. I do not want diabetes. Um I'm not trying to like gain like all like 20 pounds so far. So like this is maybe don't listen if you've had disordered eating or a eating disorder, but like I would like to say if you're autistic, you probably do have some sort of disordered eating pattern. I really hope I'm not the only one that does shit like this, especially at my age, but I got those two. So like let me back up. I was going back and forth on like whether to order from like Walmart, like to do a little delivery of like some cookies and cream. But then I'm like, well, that's kind of dumb. Like, just for chocolate bars, maybe not. And so I talked myself out of it. And then today I was over at Walgreens and I grabbed two, which are over $5 at Walgreens. And Walmart, they're just over $3. So I was like, well, this is probably what I would have spent for ordering it anyways, maybe. So I'm just going to pick a couple of bars up. And I was okay with spending over $10 on fucking chocolate. Oh, I'm a serious chocolate eater, but like this is getting out of hand. So I go back to the pharmacy, I get Alicia's meds, pay for the chocolate, and then it comes up to a total of like $7 or something. And the lady was like, "Oh, these bars are just like 64 cents each." I'm like, "What?" And I guess there was a sale where each of them was like half price, like two something instead of five something, but there was no sale sticker in front of the thing because I would have already gotten them all. I'm like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yeah." So what did I do? I paid for that shit that I already had, the two chocolate bars in the meds, and I hit up the chocolate aisle, grabbed the rest of the bars. There was like four more, and I went and I got another, what's the money? Like $10, $11 worth of Hershey's and cream, giant chocolate bars. I am not proud of this. I just admit these things because it's a little bit easier, like not knowing everybody that listens to me, because I feel like I don't have to be super embarrassed. But also, it's a little bit because, please, well, come on. You can email me, please, if you do this. I really need to feel good about myself. Like, this would make me feel great if, like, somebody else in, like, their fucking 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, is like, yeah, I had chocolate and sparkling water for my meals for the last 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. I did that. I I am feeding my addiction to this fucking chocolate bar. And so like I get home and I tore into one. It's not all the way gone yet. I figured I would take a break and get on here and like do a little bit of an episode and then maybe like finish up my meal after. Like this is so fucking ridiculous. I really hope I get so sick of like Hershey's chocolate cookies and cream. I can't even say it. I hope I get really sick of it. I hope this is what does it. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to the deliciousness, but also, please, I hope this does something to my brain to make me not want this anymore. This is fucking ridiculous. Why didn't I try to do this with the ramen I spent all that money on? Anybody who's like just started listening to my episodes, I do appreciate it. I also appreciate the ones that have been here the whole time. But you know, if you're wondering what the fuck is this bitch talking about spending $1,000 on ramen, I invite you to go find that episode somewhere in the archive where you can just hear how dumb I was and what I did with a loan that I specifically got out for other reasons, not to spend on ramen. Anyways, so I did that. Oh God. And then I kind of really want to do a ranty episode about this fucking country. And I'm back and forth like, do I do one? Do I not do one? Because I have good days and like most of my days are good. Sometimes I have just days where this country fucking sucks. There's evil people. And I don't doom scroll, but I feel like I doom scroll in my fucking brain because it's just going through all the reasons of why things are pretty horrible right now. I don't know. I might still do a ranty episode at some point and just warn you so that you might not want to listen because not everybody likes to listen to rants. But anyways, I'm on here today because autism is my special interest, and Substack has become a special interest of mine as well. Um, I view anything that like I can learn from as a resource. Is that the definition of a resource? I don't fucking know. I know resources are like that word means something that's helpful, right? Like, is a podcast a resource? I think it is. Are newsletters resources? Like, I think so. So, if your special interest happens to be autism, if you just found out that you're autistic, um, if you like to read, go on over to Substack if you're not there already. Um, I want to just highlight some of my favorite newsletters. And the reason I'm doing that, like, yeah, stop by my page. That'd be great. Like, thanks. But I'm not doing this to like promote myself. I'm doing this because there's so many people over on Substack who are autistic, who are just, they're really good writers. And I learn so much from them every day. So I wanted to just list some of them. If it sounds interesting, come on over. Um, First one is I'm gonna try to use pronouns that are they and them because I don't know like the pronouns or what the preferences are for some of the people. But Alan White does he just well they just started a newsletter called Dyspraxic Lens. There's two things up so far, like two articles, but holy shit, when I saw that there was a newsletter on dyspraxia, I was like, "Oh my God, this is like a gem for me because who thought to do one on dyspraxia? That's pretty fucking cool. I've always wanted to, ever since I found out what dyspraxia is, I've wanted to hear details from other people. Like, how do they experience this? Um, I've been hoping that maybe somebody made that a special interest and they know the ins and outs of dyspraxia. Um, I just got so excited. I really suggest checking those articles out. They're pretty cool. And so there's that. There's another one called ADHD's Substack by the ADHD Painter. Oh my God, this person does such wonderful art. I love it. It makes my eyes so happy. It makes my brain so happy. Um, I love their paintings. They do doodles and stuff every day and like show them. And I really, really love art. I love, doodly, whimsical, different kinds of like paintings and styles. And I really suggest checking out that newsletter because who doesn't like art? Um, Another one is Sam Galloway. She does the autistic perimenopause, a temporary regression. And like just reading off of like part of her about page, it explores lived experiences of actually autistic people surviving the menopause transition, which can be characterized by sensory overload, burnout, and depression. My aim is for you to feel informed, validated, and co-regulated, to safely unmask, develop self-advocacy skills, and know that you are not alone. To me, this is like the person for autistic perimenopause. So much information, jam packed with like all kinds of shit. Like I can't believe the stuff that I get to read from Sam. So if you're going through that transition, I highly recommend that one. Mary Trump doesn't know that she's autistic as far as I can tell. But her newsletter is really good too. It's called The Good in Us. And that alone should give you a reason to want to read some of what she writes about. But I am starting to like, I love Mary Trump. I fucking love her, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. Another one is called M is Living with Long COVID. This is so helpful. Um, because I'm fairly certain that Alicia's got long COVID. And this person does too, and just goes into depth about there's so much information. I highly recommend that as a resource. Another person is Grace Dakini. I hope I didn't butcher that last name. And it's called Mental Health Matters. That title in itself should give you a reason to go read what Grace has to say. I mean, very good writing, very good information, um, great perspective. Like, there's nothing to not like about Grace's newsletter. And then Jamil, I have to mention her. Like, who doesn't like her? You? Anybody out there not like her? Like, go to her newsletter, A Low Desire to Please. I love her writing. I think she does such a good job of like weaving in like her humor in her writing, and she does it so eloquently. Like, oh my God, it's just I like the newsletter. Maybe you would too. I don't know. Now I'm just gonna switch over to my reads. I'm just gonna go down my list and like say titles of the different newsletters by autistic people that I read in case something catches your attention. Um, Autistic as Fuck Out Loud, Autism After Dark, Autistic Culture. Um, you better be listening to that podcast. If you're not, what? Go listen to it. They also have a Substack. Um, let's see. An adult autism discovery. Um, Always autistic. Another late diagnosed autistic woman. Odd, it's ADHD, additional awareness and ADHD. I can't say that whole word. It's about ADHD. That's terrible. That I don't know how to pronounce all that. Okay. And then Autcasts, Audie Unmasked, Autistic All Along, The Autistic Assholes Substack, Autistic Confidential, The Autistic Equestrian, The Autistic Herbalist, Autistic Hippie, Autistic License, Autistic Rambles. This is fucking great. Autistic Rebel, Autistic Traveler, Autistically Significant, Autistically Speaking. Um, Let me see. Carer, Mentor, Empathy and Inspiration. That's a good one. Chat with Catastrophe. That's a good one. Coming Home to Ourselves. That's another really good one. Um, let's see. Disability in Politics. The Disabled Ginger. That's another good resource for like medical stuff for like just people with well, oh, my brain and my mouth. I gotta skip. Okay, okay, here I am. It's working again. Oh, I've had these fucking glitches for like a week, man. Divergent Dialogues by Caitlin Hughes. That's also a podcast. Divergent Learning Diaries, Divergently Yours, Down the Rabbit Hole, Eccentricities, The Editing Spectrum. Um, da 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 da. Gen X Marks the Spot, Gen X Soul Notes, Gratitude in Bloom. Hey, Look, a Squirtle, Adulting with ADHD. Highly Sensitive Woman. Uh, The Late Diagnosed Diaries. Learning to Live with PMDD. I don't have PMDD anymore, but I did, and I really fucking wish I had something like this. Like just somebody else's just experience with this and like how to live with it. So if you have been diagnosed with PMDD or think you have it, that's a really good resource. Lefty Lucy, very, very good. Like more I like Lefty Lucy a lot because they share their political opinions, but in a tactful way. And like, I don't know how I'm supposed to word this. Like, Lefty doesn't just go on there or Lucy, Lefty Lucy, I don't doesn't just go on there and like say shit to say shit because they're pissed, but like there's actual I'm just gonna move on. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is ridiculous. Go check out Lefty Lucy because that name, and that's another one. That's a great name for a newsletter, and a person. Um, Liberation is my kink. That is a very good newsletter. Um, Let me just open this one up real quick. Okay. I was hoping there was more stuff in the about section. But some of the titles of the articles are um, Why Sex and Neurodivergence. This is how we survive what's coming. This is not 2020. I love my white friends and it's hard work. Um, why I recommend watching one of these documentaries before January 20th. This was the one, like, there were a couple of like evil dick documentaries. One of them I did check out because people are my special interest, even evil people. I don't like evil people, but I need to learn about them. This is a very good newsletter. I love this. And then the most recent is Dying is Easy, Living is Hard, Loving is Excruciating. I mean, these are great fucking titles for articles. Um, Life After Therapy. Oh my God, this is like one of my favorites. And this person refuses to like charge like a subscription. I would if I was this person because very good information. Very personal storytelling. Very eloquent writing in my opinion. Um, Mark M, an autistic dad, the manic messiah. This guy or person, sorry. Um, Let me see if I can. Sorry, I know like oh wait, is this it? Sorry, I'm like I forgot I was recording just now. Um this person talks about like why is my brain not working? Da, 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 da. Let me just read something. Just the day before I was released from a 72-hour hold in a mental hospital in San Diego for a psychotic break, my sister had found me sitting in my recliner after I hadn't answered anyone's text messages for almost a day. After she arrived, I then proceeded to stay sitting in the chair without talking or eating for the next 24 hours straight. Um, my father, upon hearing of my strange behavior, got immediately in his car, left Arizona, arriving sometime in the middle of the night. They spent most of the next day trying to talk to me and determine what was going on, but I steadfastly maintained my silence. In my head, I was waiting for the next sign from God. The plan was forming, and soon all would make sense. After exhausting all efforts to get something out of me, they decided to gently force me into the car, and we headed to the hospital. Um, this didn't occur quickly, really. I had been devolving in my delusions and hallucinations for well over 6 months at that point, but somehow had managed to avoid detection by any of my friends or family. Certainly, they knew something weird was up as I had become obsessively religious, and my conversations generally centered on political revolution and supernatural powers, but as far as they ever told me, they never knew anything serious was going on. I am Christ and I have returned. This time a little louder. It felt to me at the time like the words were just falling out of my mouth. I honestly didn't think it was me talking, but more like I was channeling this voice inside me. Um, I didn't know I was going to turn that into story time, but like that's from their article, I Am Christ and I Have Returned, on my first hospitalization for psychosis. I love this newsletter because the like I cannot believe this person is so willing to share this stuff. It's educational to me. It's very informative, great perspective. Um, oh my God, like there's so much I want to say about this. I really think you should go and like take a look at it and You know, just want to remind everybody that like my brain and my mouth don't quite match up, and in my head there's way more I want to say about this person. But I am just floored. I super respect this person for being willing to put their life out like that. Just write about what's been going on. Like writing about like thinking that they're Christ and have returned. Um I don't know anybody that does that except this person. I'm pretty amazed by people that are willing to divulge something like you wouldn't think somebody would. I should probably just move on because I think I'm just repeating myself. Okay, where am I? My crippling self-doubt, my head hurts, nearly me, neurodivergent minds in comedy, neurodivergent notes, neuro-friendly therapy, the Neurokindness Club. That's a really good one. Neuromantics, Neuromusings, Neuro Nurture, the Neuro Spicy Writer, Neuro Wavy Thoughts, Neuro's Substack, No Small Talk, Not Always Neuro Sparkly, Musings on ADHD Life, Nurturing Self Belief, One Autistic Person, Out for Stars. I really like that one. Overstimulated, Unmasked, and Unfiltered, the Overstimulated, PDA Autism Unmasked, um, Pondering and Doodling. I hope you didn't hear those sounds on my computer just now. Purposeful Connection, the Queer Autistic Newsletter, Queer Tax, the Relic Repository, Rest and Reclaim Writings, Scatterbrain Society Bulletin, The Seeker's Lounge, Seeking Authenticity, The Self-Advocating Autistic, The Sensitive Artist, Shamani of the Compassion Collective. I don't know if I said that the right way. That's a really good one. Simply Autistic, Sober HSP Introvert, Slave to a Chihuahua. That's the newsletter. Um, I think you get the idea. Is that it? The Ubuntu journey? Oh man, I don't know how to. The Ubuntu journey. Uh, I had never heard of that word before until I saw it on this person's newsletter, and I went to go look it up. And very cool, very great name for a newsletter. Unbounded, unprogrammable, unshamed, useful autistic pet tricks, weird girl. Welcome to Noah Land, a journey in autism. What I'm not supposed to say, what's healing me lately, whimsical writing with Wake, the woman who feels everything, writing after dark. I mean, so if you're not over on Substack and any of the stuff sounds interesting, I highly recommend just coming over and like reading. Look for community if you don't have it, because there's lots of us over here on Substack. Um, Also, if like you're interested in writing, like maybe start a newsletter of your own because like we need more voices. um the more the better, you know what I mean? So you can do a newsletter too. You can like write whatever the fuck you want. And a lot of people, you can read a lot of this stuff for free, and then like if you really like somebody's content, you pay like a monthly subscription or like even a yearly subscription, and you get to see all the locked content too. um but like you don't have to have subscriptions to read. Like a lot of people put stuff up without the paywalls. And I have learned so much in the year that I've been on Substack. I can't fucking believe it. I never thought that I would find all these autistic people in one place like this. I mean, in one place that's not like what the fuck X is, ugh. So I hope Substack stays the way it is, at least the way I'm experiencing it, and doesn't start going south because of like what the fuck's been going on, not just in this country, but like around the world. But anyways, oh, I thought this was going to be short. Oops, I talked too long. Sorry. But that's all I wanted to say. Um, Hopefully this was helpful. And if you do go over to Substack and you do decide to start your own newsletter and write, can you please tell me so that I can subscribe and read because I like to read as much as possible about autism and autistic people and their experiences, and so let me know. And I guess that's all I got. Um, okay, goodbye.